What's up YouTube, Never Lucky Pulls here. Today I show you my Swordsoul deck profile. The deck is very easy to play and very strong, but you know how life works, pay to win. The deck is super expensive. You need like 1000 euro plus to play the whole deck, including extra and side deck. So yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, let's start with the deck profile. I play 3 copies of Mui, one of the best starters. You summon her, reveal one Swordsoul or Tenny monster in your hand, and you get a token level 4 on board, Tuner, to play your level 8 Synchros. And if she's used for a Synchro summon, you can draw 1 card. And yeah, it's very good to chain block your opponent against Ash. If you activate your Grandmaster effect and chain link to Mui, your Grandmaster can't be negated by Ash, so it's very nice. Next up, 3 copies of Long Yuan. You discard 1 Swordsoul card or 1 Worm card to the graveyard and you can summon him on the field and you get a token level 4. So you can play your level 10 Synchros like Baronne de Fleur or Chen Ying. So yeah. Next up, double copy of Taya. I didn't test it with 3 copies because I don't have space in my main deck. I have 43 cards in my main deck. I can't increase the number of cards. So yeah, only 2 copies. 2 is fine. I had never the feeling that I needed more than 2. You summon him, you can banish 1 Swordsoul or Worm card from your graveyard and you get a token level 4 tuner on board to play your level 8 Synchros. And for the one-offs, I play 1 Iris Swordsoul. The card comes in handy sometimes, but if you don't need her, you can discard her for a Long Yuan effect. So yeah, it's a nice tech card to have in the deck, and 1 is perfectly fine. For the Tenny support, I play 3 copies of Ashuna. You can banish this card from your graveyard and special summon 1 Tenny monster from your deck to the field. So it opens up your level 8 Synchro plays. Next up, a double copy of Vishuda. Vishuda, level 7. If you banish him from your graveyard, you can bounce 1 card back from the field to the hand. So it's very good to get rid of problematic cards. Next up, the tuner, the level 1 tuner, Adhana, double copy. 2 is perfectly fine. I had never the feeling that I needed more than 2. So yeah. And 1 water one. I need him because I play also Instant Fusion and this card works very well with Instant Fusion or Gold Sarcophagus. So yeah. And for the bastard card, 1 Protoss. Man, this card is super strong. You banish 3 different types from your graveyard or field. You can special summon him, declare 1 attribute, destroy all monsters with the same attribute, and neither player can special summon monsters with the same attribute as the one you declared. So yeah, very strong. Next up, 3 copies of Ecclesia. Support card, you can special summon her from your hand if you go second, if your opponents control 1 monster. And if you go first, you can now summon her, take her out for Mui or Taya and move on with your Swordsoul play. So yeah, it's also a tuner level 4, very good. You need to play 3. Next up, for the consistency, 3 emergence. It's a rotor for the Swordsouls. You can search 1 Swordsoul monster with this card. Yeah, that's why we play 3. For the draw power, I play 1 Talents and double Pot of Desires. I don't want to play 3 Desires because I don't want to draw multiple copies. So yeah, that's why I'm only playing 2 to reduce the chances of having the card twice in my hand. And yeah, the tactics come in handy sometimes. Next up, for protection, I play double Crossout Designator. Obviously, needed in the meta game. 1 Called by the Grave against hand traps, like Crossout Designator. And also 1 Sarcophagus and Instant Fusion against hand traps. If your Mui or Taya gets negated, or let's say Long Yuan, you can still continue. You can banish Blackout from your deck and you get a token level 4 on board, tuner. Same goes for the Instant Fusion. You can special summon the Instant Fusion target monster, which is a tuner level 4, and yeah, move on with your play. So it has the same purpose like Crossout Designator and Called by the Grave. Yeah. Next up, 1 Sacred Summon, the Monster Reborn for the Swordsouls, and you can search this card. That's why I'm playing this card and not the Monster Reborn. For the hand traps and crossout targets, I play double Ash, double Veiler, double Imperm, and only 1 Nibiru. I have a second Nibiru in my side deck. And for the trap cards, I play double Blackout, Very strong card. Some people play 1, but I love to play 2 because I want to see this card in my starting hand. So yeah, you can search this card with a Grandmaster, but yeah, it's obvious if your opponent sees this card, he can react to the card. But if he do not know that you have this card in your hand, it comes in very handy. And yeah, for the crossout target and also as a go first card, Imperial Order, very, very strong. If you open Imperial Order and you go first, you basically win the game. That's it. The card will probably get hit by the ban list, but yeah, let's see. So hopefully that's it for the main deck. Like I said, I play 43 cards. Next up to the extra deck, I play 3 amazing tokens. Very nice. And for the standard lineup, double Grandmaster, obviously negation and search effect. Double Baxier, bounces cards, and you can destroy 1 card from your side on the field and special summon 1 monster from your graveyard. It's a very good one. 1 Baron de Fleur, obviously for negation and destruction. 1 Dragite against spell and trap. And yeah, 1 Chen Ying, very good one. But I think I will replace him with the new support, which is coming out in Battle of Chaos with the level 10 Swordsoul guy. But for now, this card is very good. It works very well with the Grandmaster. For the Grandmaster effect, you need to banish 1 card from your graveyard, so you can instantly trigger his effect as well. So very good one. 1 Berserker, obviously the level 8 Synchro. 1 Chao Feng, the level 9. You can reduce or increase your stars with the Emergence and the third Sacred Summon. So you can play this card very easily. Same goes for Yazi. You can reduce your level 8 Synchro to a level 7 Synchro and summon him. It's a very good go second card if you want to break your opponent's board. Next up, the Ritual World. It's like a small Dark Lore. It's a very good one. Comes in very handy sometimes. Our instant fusion target, the Tuner level 4 for our level 8 Synchro plays. Very important. For the Tennies, a double Monk and 1 Shaman, obviously. So that's it for the extra deck, obviously 15 cards. Now let's move on to the side deck. I play double Lockbird. 3 Solomon Judgment, I side them in if I go first, so I have even more negations on board. The main goal of this deck is to negate your opponent's plays, so 1 more negate is always nice. And also a strike, so additional negation. If I go second, Red Reboot, obviously to break boards. Go first card, Dimensional Barrier, if you play against, let's say, heroes or some other decks which are using only 1 type, like the fusions or synchros, you can break the decks very easily. Go second card, Harpy's Feather Duster. Go second card as well, Dark Ruler No More. We need to break boards. If you play the mirror match, you need this card, obviously, to break the opponent's board. Otherwise, you will get 100 negates in your face and that's it. Next up, a second Nibiru copy if I play against Spam decks, a third Ash copy, and a crossout target token collector. Yeah, that's it. I will show you some simple combinations with this deck. For our first combination, we just need Mui in our starting hand. And if we don't have Mui, we can also use Ecclesia, take Ecclesia out to summon Mui from the deck. We activate Mui's effect, we show 1 of the cards, a Swordsoul card or a Worm card. We have a lot of targets, so it's very, very unlikely that you will end up with no Swordsoul or Worm cards in your hand. So yeah, that's why the effect will resolve nearly every time. You get that token on the field, it's level 4, Tuner. Now we can go for our first Synchro. We go to Grandmaster. Grandmaster's effect as Chainlink 1 and Mui as Chainlink 2. Now we have a chain block, so our opponent can't negate our Grandmaster with Ash, so he can only negate the Mui. And yeah, Mui gives us a draw and Grandmaster a search. So most of the time we will search Long Yuan if we don't have him in our starting hand. And since we showed 1 Swordsoul or Worm card, we have 1 target for Long Yuan to discard and we can summon him. Get a token on board. Now we have a 10. And we go to the level 10 Synchro. Most of the time Baron de Fleur. And with 1 card, with 1 Mui, we have 2 negates on board, plus 1 draw. And imagine if you have a Blackout in your hand, or let's say a Faked Whaler, or the Protoss, or the Ash. You have so many interruptions. It's super, super hard to break the board. and your board was very easy to establish with only one card. And yeah, that's why Swordsoul is super strong at the moment. I will show you now some more complicated combinations. For our next combination, we just need Ashuna in our starting hand and one of these dragons, so Vishuddha or Atara. It doesn't matter which one, so let's say we have Atara in our starting hand. Now we activate Ashuna's effect. We special summon Ashuna, linked to the monk. And now we can special summon also Atara to the field, since we control one non-effect monster on the field. Now we activate Ashuna's effect in the graveyard. We banish Ashuna to special summon one worm monster, a tiny monster from the deck to the field. We choose Vishuddha. Now we have 8 stars on the field. We go to our synchro. We synchro for Grandmaster. Grandmaster's effect triggers to search one Swordsoul trap, spell or monster card. We go for the emergence. We also activate emergence to search for Taya. We summon Taya. Activate Taya's effect to banish our emergence from the graveyard. Now we can get a token on the field, so we get a level 4 token. We can also activate emergence effect if you want. You can go to a level 9 or level 7 synchro, depending on the situation. But if you go first, we want to go to Baxia, so we don't activate the effect. And we summon Baxia to the field. The Taya effect triggers, since he was used for synchro summon, we can dump one Swordsoul or worm card from the deck to the graveyard, and we choose to dump Moi. Now we activate the second effect of Baxia. We destroy Monk and special summon Moi from the graveyard to the field. Moi's effect triggers, we show one Swordsoul or worm card, and we get one token on the field. We go to a level 8 synchro. Since we are blocked only to worm monsters, we can go to the Berserker. And yeah, that's it for the combination. That's it for my deck profile. I hope you enjoyed this video. I didn't want to include a lot of combinations for this video because I don't want to blow up this video. If you have demand for more combinations for the Swordsoul deck, I will make a separate video. Just write me in the comments so I can make a separate video with only combinations for this deck. This deck is super strong, super expensive, like I said. And yeah, it's very fun to play and very easy. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and drop a like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye!
Exodia! Obliterate!